Hi all, this is Rajasena. I am making this video to demonstrate the new application that we have developed. So this project is created by myself, Rajasenan, Rajkumar, Sankit and Shantan. So this application, as the name suggests, is a timeout application which reminds the user to take a break once upon prolonged usage of computer. So all it does is it opens the custom playlist created by the user within the application in a separate browser, so that it pops out when the user keeps working on the system and reminds the user to take a break once in a while. So the tools that are used are Python, tkinter, Page, which is a UI generator, PyInstaller, which is used to create the exe file from the .py files, and NSIS. This is used to package these exes so that we could install in any of the Windows environment, whether or not the Python is installed in that particular environment. So this is the exe file. I open a standard installation procedure. Once I install, it creates a new folder called timeout. So once this is completed, so this is an application file. So once, let me just walk you through the application here. So this is, it says the welcome 91809. This is specifically the username of my system. So based on the username of any one system, the names will be picked up. And this is a text box in which you could enter the URL or any of the YouTube URLs here, or any URL that leads to a PDF or any other site, whatever it could be. Ideally what this application does is picks the URL and opens it in a browser, so that it sort of reminds the user to do something else apart from the strenuous work that the user has been doing. So the URL is being entered here, and this particular button makes sure the URL is uploaded as a part of the playlist. If you could see, there is an interval section here that's in seconds as of now, as this is just a demo. So it could be converted into minutes very easily. So if I say, let me just keep it as 5 seconds for now, because it will be useful for the demo purpose. So that's why I've kept it in seconds too. And these playlists can be selected. Multiple selections are possible. And why are the multiple selections? To delete them or anything. And if you see, this is the play button. This essentially starts the application. That is, starts the timer. So upon completion of this timer, it keeps opening every URL from each and every URL from the playlist. And this stop button stops the application. This shuffles the elements in the playlist. So let's start by adding a URL into our application. So let's see what happens. So the URL has been successfully added. So let's get back. See, it's Ludovico Ianardi. That is the music, that URL that I have placed, and it was able to take the subject. And let me just place one more. So if I place it, yeah, so it's been successfully added. Then you can shuffle it, whatever. Then this 5-second interval. And let me just start the application, and you would see what happens now. So yeah, it launches the application with the first URL. Let me just stop this application. As it is 5 seconds, it keeps launching. So as per the order of the playlist, it keeps launching the songs that are available in the playlist, and it essentially opens the URL whichever is accessible. And we have the other URLs too, with respect to any PDFs which could be uploaded here. And this application just pops out a new browser with that particular URL and opens up. So, and this part of this just records of what all the activities that has been happening. So whatever songs you insert, whatever songs you delete, up to 30 of them are displayed here. The last 30 activities being recorded and displayed here. So this application in the background, it is using SQLite to store all this information, and we have used YouTube API to get the description of the URL that is being given, and for any other URLs we just scrape the web for the headings and stuff like that within the URL, and we store uh, that as the name of the playlist and the URL against it. So essentially, once it starts playing, it picks the heading and gets the necessary URL from the database SQLite and opens up that application in the new browser. The code for this application is being uploaded in the GitHub, and as a part of converting them into exe and the NSIS file, I just followed this block. So yeah, this is it. In case of any questions, please feel free to let me know.